For that, Justin, and we are taking small steps, big strides, and everything in between this afternoon, because today we're joined by Jessica Walter of the One Wish Foundation. How are you this afternoon?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And I also want to wish you a happy belated Mother's Day as well.
Thank you.
It's great that you're here because you're gearing up for the Hope 5K walk for the One Wish Foundation. But before we get into that, just kind of tell us again who the One Wish Foundation celebrates.
Yes. So my husband and I were impacted by infertility and loss several years ago when we first got married, and ever since like day one of that journey, I knew that once we got to the other side of it, if we did, and whether we did or not, we wanted to give back. So in my mind, I wanted a foundation that helped with the financial and emotional aspects that fertility and loss, you know, how it impacts people. And so basically the whole purpose is if someone is on the fertility journey, whether it's treatment or medication or simply just trying for a really long time, we want to be there. We want to provide financial assistance through grants, but also the emotional component of, you know, virtual support groups, in-person support groups. We have a chat online for people who want to connect every day. And we have, you know, a talk every month where we focus on a different topic on Instagram Live, like whether it's coping with loss or whether it's if you're starting IVF, how to support someone going through fertility, all those things. So we want to spread awareness and educate others, but our main purpose is to support those who've been impacted by fertility and loss.
Yeah, and Jessica, that's so critical, that emotional and financial support, because everybody's journey is different. No two paths look exactly alike. And you know, we were just talking about Motivation Monday, and we were just talking about uplifting words and whatnot. So do you have, you know, a lot of times, you mentioned this last time you were here as well, that sometimes we unintentionally say things that can be really hurtful for sometimes moms who are trying to have children, or, you know, they're unable to. What are some of those words that we should stay away from and perhaps shift our language to saying?
Yeah, I think there's this whole just relax, just stop trying, just adopt, all these just statements. And that's not how it works. And clearly people who say that are well-intended, but they haven't been there, because if they'd been there, they wouldn't say those things. And we have this notion of toxic positivity. It's, you know, if you just will it into existence, it'll happen, but it doesn't always happen. And I think reminding people that their worth doesn't have to do with their ability to have children. You know what I mean? Like you have value within yourself, and so being that support person to encourage that person to realize that about themselves and be there in whatever way they need, not how you think they need.
That's so true, and you've been doing that for quite some time.
Trying.
You actually were able to help 4 parents with their pregnancies. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, it's been so exciting. So again, we've been around for 2 years, and the whole goal is at least 2 grants a year are distributed.
Okay.
And so in that course, we've given out, I think, 5 or 6 grants, and 4 people are pregnant or have already had their child from our grants. And I just can't, like, in my mind, like, I can't grasp that still. It surprises me and it moves me so much, because that was the whole point, you know what I mean, was to give back and help. We don't pay for everything, but that chunk that helped lead to that, to help ease their financial burden in some kind of way, just means so much. And it's neat too, because we don't ask them to contact us after, but you'll get an email or a chat saying, hey, like, I just want to let you know that we're pregnant, and they'll send us baby pictures. And at our last walk, one of our grant recipients showed up and she was pregnant. Well, this year for our walk, she's going to bring her baby, and we're going to make little onesies. So it's just like the whole full circle that is involved in this that I had hoped for, but couldn't really like tangibly predict. Is just, it's so moving. I can't put into better words. It's just very moving.
Absolutely. So that walk is coming up again on June 2nd. Tell us, how can we participate and be a part of this?
So we picked June 2nd because June is actually it's International Fertility Month, so we want to kick off the month with that. So basically, on our website, it's theonewishfoundation.org. That's that's where you can sign up for the race.
Okay.
You can also donate. If you can't race, you can still just make a donation toward our foundation. But all proceeds for the race go toward grants. They don't go into our business. They go strictly toward the grants. They are there to give back to help those who are seeking fertility or adoption. So that's how you can sign up, or you can sign up on Facebook too, on our Facebook page, just the One Wish Foundation.
That is awesome. And just quickly, if you could just tell us what some of those numbers look like for those who are going through those financial loss, so we understand where that money is going and how much of a financial burden, like you said, it is on families.
Yeah, well, I mean, so if you're looking at adoption, you're looking from anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000, and honestly, same with IVF. You know, it depends on what route you take, but IVF, I would say to start, 15 on the low side, and then, I mean, you're talking about multiple trials, multiple attempts, so it can get up there. I know some people have done $50,000 to $60,000 just to have children, which is unfair.
Incredible, and thank you so much for shedding light on that. We have that information right here at the bottom of your screen, so you can join the walk. And thank you so much for what you're doing for families all across our area. We really truly appreciate
Well, thank you
it.
for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. Well, coming up